Who will represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl? We're about to find out as off we go in the NFC title game. Now an opening past the 30. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but a very solid return. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. On play action, he'll set up to throw. That's caught. It's Kenneth Walker. They'll get 11 there, and that's a quick first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Second down and 3. Once again, it's Walker. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
They'll come up first and 10 at the 40. The run up the middle, it's Walker. And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's second and 5. On the ground, it's Walker. It'll be a short pickup down to the 31. He's tackled down by Byron Murphy. You don't need much. It is third and inches. We'll try and run it with Walker. And he will have the Seahawks first down. At least at first glance, they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on third and inches.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
Here's a handoff to Walker. Finding space at the 15. The speed on display. He's in. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown, Seahawks. Terrific way, Greg, to get this game started. Able to get the opening touchdown and do it with a long run.
Mike, anytime you can create explosive plays in the run game, you're definitely going to take it. And they're going to be able to build on those plays as the rest of this game moves along.
Seven 0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this one out. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. Here's first and 10. Not much happening there, just a short gain. Here's second and 9. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. His first catch of this NFC Championship game, good enough for a first down.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
This pass defense, it just has to be better than this, Mike. They have to do a better job accounting for everybody in their coverages. They have to play their defense exactly according to the plan, because if not, this quarterback has enough weapons, he can spread the ball out and find the open space.
The coverage too good downfield. They'll wind up taking him down.
This is where the playmaking ability almost can be a detriment to a running quarterback. They have such confidence in their ability to keep plays alive with their legs that sometimes they hold it just a little bit too long, thinking they can make the next big play. And good job by the defenders tracking him down and took him down for a loss. I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And that ball out of reach toward the sideline. It'll be an incompletion. It'll be a punt coming up for the Vikings. Trying for the old school coffin corner. That's pretty close out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line. Well done. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. Keep it on the ground and keep it with Walker. And he's able to give him a little breathing room. He's got a first down up past the 15-yard line. 1 quarter down. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Smith in Jigba, the man in motion. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. He'll get this complete to Walker. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 29-yard line.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Throwing now from the gun. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
They run with Walker. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
Looking to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out for Metcalf.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. And he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier.
Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. His second grab on this drive, good for 11 yards, but most importantly, a first down. Now Walker. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards. On 2nd down, Walker. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll return with more of the NFC Championship game after this. 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. That is caught. He finds Walker. A gain there of 11. First down, Seattle.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter. Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
They'll try to set up the screen here with Walker. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
On 3rd down, they'll set up, pressure, gets there, and down he goes. The Vikings go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll discuss what's to come as 4th down is looming. His kick is good. And the Seahawks going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's McCarthy. Throwing over the middle, this one is complete. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. On 1st and 10, it's McCarthy. Quick throw, out wide, it's caught. 2 straight hookups. This one good for 10 yards.
You find yourself in these 2-minute drills, Mike. They're pretty critical moments in the game. They go a long way to deciding. So It makes a lot of sense. You start looking for your top target, and he comes through for him there.
Throwing here on 1st and 10 is McCarthy. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on 1st down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the 1st down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable and take your chances picking up a key 3rd down? So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
Now Seattle going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining until halftime. So Jake Moody now out for the field goal. This one from 52 yards away. Moody's kick is good. And the Vikings are on the board just before halftime.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Back to throw here to begin the drive. He's going to air one out for Metcalf. And the Vikings are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You've got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, most teams that find themselves in this situation, Mike, what are they going to do on 1st down? They're just going to run it. They're going to just plow it up in there, and the idea is don't make the quarterback take the center exchange in the end zone. Well, not this guy. He decides to throw it deep downfield, and even though it's an incomplete pass, you have to imagine it's going to soften that secondary up just a little bit.
Quick throw, taken in. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
The score is Seahawks 10, Vikings 3.
Keep going! Into the end zone! Get tackled.
Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top in this second half. Coming up, both of these teams hoping to be the ones to lift the George Halas Trophy. Quarter number 3 of the NFC title game underway. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a throw for McCarthy. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Setting up to throw is McCarthy. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough, you're never going to get the receiver. I mean, think, he started on the left side of the formation in the slot, and he has to run all the way across the field to the right third. I mean, that takes a lot of time. Let's give a lot of credit to the big guys up front. It's pretty well read there defensively. Anytime you throw these quick passes to the wide receivers, you're looking to pick your gain up after the catch. So let's give credit to the defense. Rally and tackle in space and keep that to a pretty modest gain.
Quick throw here is complete. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
Just another example of poor decision-making. I mean, making a bad play even worse. There's nothing there on second down. Just throw the ball into the stands and move on to third. Now you take that sack, and it's going to take a miracle to stay on the field.
On third and long, here's McCarthy. Thrown left side, the catch is made. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the first down.
Seemed like the receiver, Mike, ran through like 5 different open zones, but once he found the one that he liked, where the quarterback was expecting him, you see him do a nice job throttling down, secures the catch, and he's able to pick up a nice gain.
So Jake Moody now out for the field goal. This a 46-yard attempt. And that one not going to get there, and it's wide to the left as well. It's no good. And they are not able to draw closer.
You know, the hardest part about these missed kicks, Mike, is for all the guys that work so hard to put the ball in position to come away with points. You kind of trot off the field. You're hoping that next possession has a different result.
Here's a 2nd and 9. Now a give to Walker, running right. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it. They need 8 as they come up for third down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, Mike. Living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Returnable from his own 4. Oh, hello. He is stopped in his tracks on that one. They made sure that return was not going any farther. First and 10. Now McCarthy. And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looked like he might have gotten there early. This drive starts at the 21. It's first and 10. Here's McCarthy. He's going to take a shot down the field. And that is incomplete.
pretty unforgettable performance so far in the first half, Mike, and they're going to try to figure this out here in the second half and try to gain some momentum, figure out what's going to work, where are our matchups, and let's go try to put a drive together and get some points, because so far this has been a struggle, and they just cannot get anything going through the air.
Down the field, it's caught on that left sideline. They pick up 17 through the air. First down, Minnesota. To throw is McCarthy. His throw left side is complete. And he's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
Everyone always assumes that you only want to run drag routes or crossing routes just underneath like mesh concepts against man coverage, but so often they're equally as effective against the zone. All it takes is one of those underneath man defenders to latch on to the wrong route, and all of a sudden there is a lot of room, not only for the completion, but for yards after the catch.
That's 11 yards again, 2 plays in a row. And another first down. Throwing again is McCarthy. He's going to tuck it and go. And he's going to be out of bounds here on what will wind up being the final play of the third quarter. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw, McCarthy. This one complete right side. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead.
To the goal line and in. T.J. Hockenson. Touchdown, Minnesota. A huge touchdown there in the fourth quarter, and now just a point away from tying the game.
And that's one of those drives, Mike, where you know your best is needed. Can you come through here late and give your team a chance? They're an extra point away from tying this thing up, and we got ourselves a ball game. So they decide to put the ball in the air, which I don't mind on this two-point try, but the execution was just a little bit off, and it's not going to work out in their favor this time around.
So it is back to a one-point game now in the fourth quarter as they kick it away. And the defense has it.
This is tough. You're trying to give your guys a chance and time it just right, but you have to hit it hard enough. This time, it doesn't go 10 yards. Not going to work out.
They're trying to burn some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
4 yards on the pickup.
Here's 2nd and 6. Handoff, running left, it is Walker. And nothing cooking on that one. He'll be met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
Shotgun snap as they'll throw it on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the intended receiver. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
And that is not going to work. Incomplete, and they turn it over on downs.
You know, more often than not in the NFL, games are won based on who wins critical downs. Well, that fourth down attempt right there was exactly that, and this defense came up
under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him.
I can promise you, Mike, when this play call went into the headset of the quarterback, nobody on the coaching staff thought this play was going to result in a sack. This ball is expected to come out quick, wide receiver screen, and do the rest after the catch. Something was thrown off with the timing, and the quarterback had no choice but to eat it and gets taken down for a sack.
On second down, here's McCarthy. To the right side, he's got Hockenson, his tight end. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a first down.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
They probably would have been better off just handing the ball off to the running back, Mike, because when they used him as a decoy, nobody fell for him. By the time he finished his fake and got his head around, the defense was all over.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. Over the middle, that's the tight end, Hockenson. He'll be marked down very close to the first down. They got 14 of the 15 that they needed. It's going to set up a manageable 3rd and short. So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Back to crown the NFC champion after this. The 12s making noise in Seattle before 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Open man, left side, he's got it. And he's going to have the first down. It is a gain of 6. Good conversion on 3rd down.
When you decide to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, typically, Mike, what you're doing is you start from the top down. If you have the big shot downfield, take it. If not, the quarterback works through his progression, finds the medium target, picks up the first down.
They'll run. And nothing on that one. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Now Seattle going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play. Throwing now, it's McCarthy. A dive and a catch. Incredible. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot. From the gun, here's McCarthy. Looked like a lateral there, but now it's a free football. And that was very nearly a disaster at this juncture of the game. But fortunately, a teammate able to cradle it, and they keep possession.
Sometimes these games in the NFL, Mike, they get decided by simply how the ball bounces. I mean, how often do we see a quarterback in the pocket get stripped sack, and that ball ends up going the other direction? Fortunately for them, they can regroup, get back in the huddle, and live another day. Ball falls into the hands of his own guy, and they'll see if they can dodge this bullet.
Now, on 2nd and long. They'll stick to the ground. Good blocking to the 15. And he won't quite get to the end zone, but they're going to be set up at the 2-yard line. Here we go. First and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this is a touchdown. They were not going to be denied, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute of play. Big spot here for the Vikings. They'll try to add on the two-point conversion. This is caught. He's got it. And they tack two more onto their lead. Down to the final few seconds of this one as the kick is away. The return starts at the 13. And he'll be brought down there, and that'll put a wrap on this one. Time has expired in this fourth quarter. So it is a win for our visitors, the Vikings. As their fans will celebrate, they claim the George Halas Trophy, champions of the NFC. Next stop, the Super Bowl.